Yo, we live? I gotta make sure this time, man. Y'all ain't gonna believe this, man. I just recorded for an hour straight, right? First take, straight off the dome, no edits. I didn't have the audio input in, so I couldn't even listen to it. Not only would y'all not be able to hear it, but I wouldn't be able to hear it neither. I couldn't listen to it in order to see what it was I already said. So y'all don't know it, but y'all getting this video once again. Alright? This is coming for the second time. Hopefully I can make it as good as the first one. Welcome to episode 1 of Untitled Until Further Notice. I'm your host, Quanton. I want to say thank you for all the support that I've been receiving. I've seen some people who have liked, some that have subscribed, some that have shared. I appreciate you so much. I hope that we'll continue to build from this moment on. And I'm so glad that I'm doing this now. This is actually a really big passion of mine. I love podcasts. If I had to guess, the very first podcast I listened to was the David Banner podcast. Shout out to David Banner. Currently, today, I'm not sure whether or not his podcast is continuing, but I appreciate him so much for just sowing that seed in me, for the time that it was there. It was so well done, and I wanted to pay attention, and, I stuck with it. Came back for, episode after episode, week after week. So, shout out to David Banner and all that it is that he has accomplished, and I wish him much more success. That being said, for those who don't know me, I'm just like a regular dude. I got a 9 to 5. Really, it's more like a 8 to 7. I work many hours throughout the day. But luckily, the job that I work for and the department that I work in, I'm able to have my earbuds in all day. And with those earbuds in, I listen to podcasts all day long. Different ones, various ones, that I keep up with and that I'm subscribed to. And so anybody else who listens to podcasts regularly, you'll know that there's never a shortage of topics. And being that I listen to so many different ones, it breeds a bunch of different topics that could come at any time. So that's what this platform is going to be. It's going to be me giving my opinion based on topics I listen to other podcasts that I really enjoy, and in the same breath, being able to put y'all on to some podcasts maybe you haven't listened to before, or maybe it was an episode that you missed and it was a subject that you wanted to hear more about or that you wanted to expand on. So hopefully it will be a benefit to the both of us, me just genuinely showing that love to those other podcasts. I created this platform essentially to be able to speak to some of the things that I heard. Like I said, regular dude, just like anybody else. I'm on social media. I have the tendency to tweet other podcasters whenever they have their takes or they say things, and I want them to know how I feel about it. You'll see me on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's at the Quanton Soup, on Twitter. You'll see my name, Quanton, on there. Go ahead and feel free to do that. So, yeah, that's a bit of an idea of what you should expect from this platform. As often as I do upload that's what it is that I aim to do. But today, being that this is the first episode and I want my subscribers to get to know me, I don't want them to get a misrepresentation of me. And for those who have subscribed or are on my channel, you'll see that I had 2 previous videos, both of which being from the year 2015. And I'm not the same person then that I am now. And so any misconceptions that may come from those videos, if anybody did watch those, I just want to take a moment today to sort of address some of those things, and speak to my younger self, in hindsight, now that I'm the man that I am today. Like I said, 2015, I believe those videos were made in June and July. So this coming June and July, those videos will be 7 years old. Now in 2022. Happy New Year, by the way, to all that are listening. I hope that your new year was well and prosperous. So far, so good for me. Got a lot of goals, a lot of aspirations, and I'm very motivated and driven. I think that this is going to be the best year of my life. I'm going to continue to say that, continue to feel that way, very big on energy and just positivity and essentially manifestation and the law of attraction, as we move forward. I may speak to that a little bit more as y'all get to know me. That being said, I got the video pulled up here, so I'm gonna be able to go to those and be able to listen to them in real time. Again, like I said, I already recorded this previously and I did it without the audio output in, so everything that I had recorded live, my live sound card didn't actually catch it going into the laptop. You'll see that the videos that were on my channel, the exact same equipment that I used back then, I'm still using now. That's pretty incredible considering, technology nowadays, and just it's not as durable, but this laptop has lasted me to the test of time up to this point. So, grateful that I'm still able to record now like I was back then. All right, all that being said, let's see if we can't get these videos started. And funny enough, the very first video that it is that I had uploaded onto YouTube, I sort of took the route of Soulja Boy's trying to play already. I kind of took the route of Soulja Boy's marketing strategy. So for those who are unfamiliar, when Soulja Boy was first trying to get his name out there and get his music out there, he uploaded onto Napster and LimeWire under the title of your favorite songs of the time. So here you are on Napster or LimeWire thinking that you're downloading your favorite song of the time, and sure enough, when you've already gotten it downloaded and you hit play, you hear Soulja Boy come on into your speakers. And whether you continue to play it or not, you had already downloaded it. And so that number, it essentially was able to count towards his downloads. And he is able to take that strategy and he is able to leverage it in order to, continue on with his career and gain his notoriety and be able to say that he had the numbers that he needed in order to continue to thrive. And I did something similar. So if you'll see the very first video that I had uploaded, is called Start of Something New. Check out my own understanding on Tumblr. And rest in peace to Tumblr. There may be some that are still on Tumblr, but if y'all remember correctly, Tumblr had a bit of an exodus once they announced a couple years back that they weren't allowing lewd and explicit content on their platform any longer. And from there, everybody navigated to Twitter, where you could still see lewd, explicit content. And and so essentially Tumblr's popularity lessened. And if I'm remembering correct on the timeline, shortly after, OnlyFans gained some popularity as well. So to Tumblr's demise, these other platforms were sort of birthed a bit. So shout out to Tumblr for providing what they did at first and, making it possible for those other platforms to have elevated to where they are today. But yeah, my title, Start of Something New. Those who know, Start Something New was one of many popular songs from Disney's High School Musical. And so I was hoping that anybody who was typing into YouTube, Started Something New, they would come across my video expecting me to maybe be trying to sing the song. And sure enough, they would quickly discover that I was not singing at all, but actually marketing and promoting my then blog on Tumblr. But yeah, so that was my first video onto YouTube, and I'm gonna go ahead and press play so we can hear what I was talking about then, as opposed to how I'm feeling about things now.
My name is Quan Roper.
Oh, gotta stop it right there. Gotta stop it right there. Right off the back, I go right into my government name and revealed myself. For those who aren't as familiar with me, you got that now. So congratulations. I think that's kind of funny. I'm building my platform using the personality Quantum. So that's what it is I would like to be referred as. Please be respectful of that. If you're not using my personality name, I likely won't acknowledge you. So you've been forewarned.
And I'm new to this video life. So this right here is actually my first video. I'm creating this video because I have a Tumblr, and I have 2 followers right now. One being my girlfriend.
The 2 followers, that runs kind of concurrent, until I put out the teaser video. And thank you again to those who liked, subscribed, and shared. I still had about 2 followers, I think. Maybe. It wasn't too many more than that. But yeah, in 6 years, didn't really have much growth. The video itself, it had 31 views. After this coming year will make 7 years. Thank you to those who garnered those 31 views. I appreciate you. Clap it up for you. Clap it up for you, and round of applause. Yeah, thank you, live sound card. Got a couple things here, a couple buttons here that I can push, to garner that applause, being given time. But yeah, shout out to those 2 subscribers. Hopefully you stayed on, along with the ones that grew. And as said in the video, it makes mention of my then significant other. As you continue to follow this journey, maybe we'll get more, into detail regarding that and where that's at now. But yeah, let's continue press play.
And another being the person that I was able just to vibe with one day. I've had my Tumblr for quite some time now, and I haven't been able to get anybody to notice it or figure out that it exists. So I thought I would go about doing it a different way. I made this video because I'm actually going to read my posts onto the video, and then I'm going to post this video so then you hear about what I posted, and maybe it will make you interested and want to come check out my my blog. I'm just going to start from the very beginning, from my very first post. My very first post was titled "What You Should Expect," and here it goes. How you doing? I'm new to Tumblr, so bear with me. I speak my mind. My mouth is unfiltered, but my thoughts are premeditated. Ignorance is blissful to me. I don't talk about national controversy, considering I don't desire to know the news.
Pause again. So yeah, from what it was that you could hear, talked about just being there and just starting my blog and wanting to get myself out there and things. And I might have lied earlier. Now that I look at this video and how it is framed, I definitely recorded that on the cell phone. I didn't record it on the laptop. I think I was reading from the laptop as I recorded onto the phone. So yeah, I think that's actually what was taking place. But yeah, so some things haven't changed yet necessarily. It's still got that low following count for now, but I know that won't be the case because y'all are going to continue to like, subscribe, and share, and the content is going to bleed through, and I think that y'all going to, like my authenticity and see how genuine this I am, and the content that comes, I think that you guys will appreciate what it is that I choose to talk about. But yeah, let's continue on. Oh, wait. What I said about not talking about controversy and not paying attention to the news, not really having a care for it. Again, shout out to Twitter, IG, just social media in general. The way that it is that news travels so fast amongst us, that's where it is that I get my news for the most part. That's usually what it is that I want to pay attention to, anything that's in pop culture, anything that's in hip hop, now podcasts, podcast news. We can see that pretty frequently. So as long as it's coming through those platforms, I may speak on it, I may give an opinion on it, but I am going to try my best to stay away from controversy. If it's not podcast related, then maybe you won't get an opinion from me. At least not at this point, and this broadcast may continue to evolve as I continue to elevate, look a little bit different moving forward. But yeah, that's that on that. Pressing.
It all ends the same, either tragedy or jubilation. If it doesn't affect me directly, it's out of sight and out of mind. Feel free to ask questions if my blog is directly... Oh, sorry. Feel free to ask questions if my blog is ever viewed. Followers or not, I'll post. Stay true to myself and vent repeatedly. I attempt to get others to think, maybe persuade. I don't know, just expect me. So, yeah, like I said, that was my very first post on Tumblr. I must admit, if I do say so myself, that the posts get much more interesting after that. So if you liked what you heard, or you're intrigued in any kind of way, feel free to go and visit my posts. I actually call it sorry, this video life is different. I should call it my own understanding, so yeah, once again, my name is Quandavian, Kwundav.
Bruh, said your whole government name, man. It's so funny just in hindsight looking back at this. Just like, oh man, to be that young and naive again. But yeah, you heard what it was that I said, in regards to just creating my blog back then, and just being able to say that I was creating it because, I wanted to garner some type of attention. Really I wanted to bring attention to my Tumblr. I wanted to get popping on Tumblr. That never happened. I talked about, whether there's followers or not, I'm gonna post. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. But I'm not really sure what it was exactly that deterred me back then, but I didn't stick with it. I can only imagine where it is I might be if I would have continued back then, but you live and you learn.
IAN and my own understanding. Check that out, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, so that was the first video, just kind of an introduction, and just a little tidbit, little FYI, little fact. I created the title, My Own Understanding, based on my then favorite Bible verse. Those who know, Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. Interesting enough, I was kind of like beefing with like church and religion, and so it's ironic that I called it my own understanding, because that's what the Bible verse was saying not to do. And yeah, back then, being the age I was, you couldn't tell me anything. I thought I knew best. And you know how it goes. But let's get into the second video so I can speak a little bit more about what it was that I used to subscribe to and what I no longer subscribe to now. Getting it together here.
Hey, how you doing? This is Quan Roper again. For those who've seen my first video, they would know that I post here on YouTube. I'm in an attempt to get my Tumblr noticed and get it out there. I actually post a video of myself reading off of my blog, reading the posts that I put on my blog. I had a personal goal of 15 views from my first video, and I was able to hit that. So because I hit that, I decided that I would post this next video, see what kind of reception I get from it. But for those who don't know, like I said, that's what it is that I'm going to be doing. I have my own blog there on Tumblr. It is titled My Own Understanding. Again, my name is Quandavian, Kwun.
Jeez, man. I always wanted to drop this government back then. Again, it's just funny in hindsight, when you think about things like privacy and security and all that sort of stuff. Like back then, what was it, 2015? Being new to YouTube and social media just getting popping the way it was. Like I think that was right before I listened to my first album on Apple Music. I think it was 2016 that I listened to Anderson .Paak, Malibu. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Malibu was an absolutely great listening experience. So for that to be the first album I listened to on Apple Music, man, what a time to be alive. But yeah, so just me dropping my government just in hindsight is a little bit cringe, but y'all got all that now, so like I said, follow me on my socials, at the Quantum Soup on Twitter, the Quantum Soup on IG. I'm not on Snapchat, just me personally. I just feel like, I'm perceived to be promiscuous, me personally, if I have a Snapchat. Not saying that's the case for everybody else, but that's just me. That's the reception that I get anytime back in the past when I had Snapchat, anytime I told somebody I did, they automatically looking at me like I'm on there doing things I'm not supposed to be doing, so being that was the perception, I just decided not to do that, so won't find me there. But IG the Quantum Soup, Twitter at the Quantum Soup. So yeah.
DAVIAN.
Still spelling his name.
All right. So my first video, I read my first.
And about that, like I keep telling y'all, I had recorded this video once already, and it was so good. It was so perfect. I'm trying to remember some of the things I said, but yeah, I always kind of knew that it would come to this in regards to just putting myself out there and trying to gain a bit of notoriety. My mom and my dad, as I keep telling y'all what my name is, you hear the uniqueness about it. They always let me know that I was a star. I could be anything that I wanted to be, things like that. And it's something that I believe and I subscribe to this day, just that name, just being up in lights and people knowing who I am, I really think that that's in the cards for me, so here I am trying to dive a bit into entertainment, broadcasting, becoming a personality. Again, Quantum, refer to me as that. Don't refer to me as my first name, or, you probably won't be acknowledged. It is what it is. But, yeah, so continuing with the video.
First post that I ever put on Tumblr, and now this being my second video, I'm going to read my second post. Alright, Day 2 is the title of my second post. As it is titled, this is Day 2 for me on Tumblr. That being said, I'm going more in depth today. I'm a complex individual. Let's get that out of the way right off the bat.
Still true.
I'm very introverted and self-conscious. However, I've been cursed, so to speak, because people are drawn to me. I'm also a blatant narcissist. I believe...
Whoa. We're going to stop right there. So, yeah, introverted. I'm pretty comfortable with myself. I talk about how I enjoy podcasts. That's usually just an individual activity. I can do that all day long, really. I don't view it too much as a curse that people are drawn to me, given that I really think that it's in the cards for me to gain some type of notoriety or, you know, be known by many people for whatever various reasons. I say draw them all to me. you know, uh, Trying to get as many subscribers as I can. Enough people who care about who I am, authentically, and see me for who I am genuinely. You know, um, and I think that it's gonna come. I'm here in the humble beginning stages, just looking to build. Excuse me, just looking to build. So I'm willing to be patient in regards to the growth and things like that. And I don't know when it came in my previous video, but I want to shout out to just my friends that is I met at the end of last year, who also have a podcast. That's the FMF podcast. If you follow me on my social media, you'll see that I big up these brothers a lot. I share and promote them. The finance, mindset, and fitness podcast. I can't believe I was spacing there. But the finance, mindset, and fitness podcast with Anthony Giovanni and Paul DeBerry and Trayvon Pratt. Those three brothers, they're incredible. Their platform is incredible. I'm so glad to call them my friends and be associated with them, but it was them who put in my mind to just kind of go, just kind of turn the camera on and record and hopefully not need any edits or anything like that, so I'm hoping that you get me in real time, get all my thoughts in real time, and just shout out to them for, doing it that way, that authentic, raw way, and inspiring me to do it the same way as well. So, God willing, y'all bear with me, if I ever say anything inappropriate, anything, that I shouldn't be saying. So yeah, shout out to them. Continuing the video.
If the world revolves around me, mainly because I can only see through my eyes. So
I didn't even address that. Yeah, hold on. Narcissist. Yeah, no. Back then, that's what it was that I thought I was, or what I was trying to tell myself I was. But now, today, I do not subscribe to that. Okay, listen. I do not subscribe to that. Now that I got a little bit more mental health education and just understanding, the stigma associated with narcissists and narcissism, I can proudly say that that is not me. I do not claim to be that. But if I wanted to shoot myself some bail, just how it was that I came to feeling that way, I kind of adopted that way of thinking, that perspective, that mindset, on account that I wanted to motivate myself to keep going a bit. For as long as I could remember, when I was extremely young, I struggled with self-worth. And I came to realize the reason that I did is because very early on in my young life, I recognized strife and I recognized struggle. And I never wanted to do that. I never wanted my life to consist of those things. My mother, God bless her, she really did an incredible job in regards to just raising me and just the things that she taught me and she instilled me. But being the age that I was back then, she wasn't shy about the strain it was that she was experiencing. And me being just young and naive, I associated that strain, that strife with pain, and me not wanting to um, go through those things. I essentially said, well, if this is what the world is, then I guess I don't want to be here. And I kind of adopted that mindset young, and I took it into my teenage years and even into early adulthood, and I mean, it was so bad. Like, it breeded this laziness about me. Like, in school, even though I was smart, I was bright, pretty intelligent, I was extremely lazy and I never wanted to work, and so in regards to my grades, they was always only average or worse because I wouldn't do homework. I wouldn't do any homework, and I would half-ass the work that I did at school, and so I never truly shined through like I probably could have, just because of that laziness and that lack of drive and that lack of motivation. But yeah, so I took on this persona, so to speak, in regards to think I'm a narcissist and the world revolves around me because it motivated me to do things. If essentially the world revolves around me, then that means it's up to me to, you know, do something if I want to see the world continue to progress. Like, it's funny now thinking about it in hindsight, but it was such a naive way to think back then, and sure enough, it got me through what I was going through back then, but definitely don't subscribe to that way of thinking now.
I feel like the main character in this seemingly never-ending story called life. As the days go by, my significant other seems more and more like another protagonist set in the plot. She is my source of sanity. Probably would have been in an asylum a few years ago had she not come along. This movie has lasted a little longer than expected.
So I'm gonna pause it right there because just being what was said, and receiving the mental health education I have now, I can honestly and vehemently say that this boy was a red flag. All right, you hear me? He's a red flag. Like, that codependency that it is that he's speaking towards is just everything in hindsight, and maybe someday I'll get more in depth in regards to that relationship and, what came about it and things. But yeah, big red flag energy there, and just a lot of codependency. And thankfully, I'm in a better space now. And in regards to what I was talking about earlier, in regards to self-worth and just my life, I feel that I'm happier than I've ever been. I've taken on that perspective, that my life is the best that it's ever been. I got more drive and motivation than I ever had, and so thank God for growth. That's what I gotta say.
And a lot longer than I desired. Life once again has become meaningful in large part because of her and what she is to me. Life has always been expendable to me, given when I was younger already contemplating suicide as if it was a norm. What kept me from killing myself was the sense of happiness several men told me was possible. Young and naive as I was.
Yeah, pause it right there. What it is I'm speaking to, when I went to college, I went to a religious-based college, and probably back then, while I was in it, I thought that that was the happiest time of my life. Any of you that are out there that, follow Christianity, they talk about being happy in Jesus. And as long as you got that, you got everything that is that you need. And kudos to those who do subscribe to that, who live their life in that way. I could say from my experience, that has not been my life, but I respect y'all for, taking on that perspective and being able to live, by that. Um, Maybe someday I'll get more into my spiritual beliefs, things like that. Right now, I just think there is a creator, there is some divine being, whether he, she, her, whatever, whatever. Um, I truly think that although they created everything that we see, they create the systems behind it as well. And they probably don't interfere in our lives, in our livelihood, you know. But like I said, I'm not getting into all that tonight. But just a little bit of clarity in regards to what I spoke of there. You know, where it was my happiness that came from back then.
I sought this happiness to prevent my sorrow and felt misery. Little did I know happiness is subjective and mental, and that is the topic for tomorrow.
I still somewhat believe that. I still somewhat believe that happiness is subjective to the individual. Like I spoke of earlier, I myself am happier than I've ever been, even though I would probably say today I may have less than I've ever had if I was being truthful. But I've taken on a new perspective. I have a new zest for life, so to speak, in regards to being motivated and being driven, and just so much gratitude. So grateful for like that growth that I spoke of earlier, and just opportunity. Opportunity to be able to build, be able to create, and just passions, newfound passions that I have.
So yeah, like I said, that was my second post there on Tumblr. If you like what you heard or you're interested, again, go to my blog, My Own Understanding, Quandavian,
This voice, I don't
KWUNDAVIAN.
understand again.
Alright, I'm going to set another personal goal. Once again, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if I hit that personal goal of views, then I'll continue to post, and we'll see where we go from there. Also, if I could get some followers on Tumblr, my last video didn't produce any followers, but if I was to get followers because of this video, that would really encourage me and tell me that people are watching. And feel free to message me. Let me know that you're watching or you've seen what I said. Give me some feedback, criticism. I don't care. Comment in the bottom. It just tells me that somebody's listening. I appreciate that. Alright.
Not so bad, being that it was his first couple videos. He did a good job marketing and promoting himself, I suppose. But yeah, rest in peace again to Tumblr, or at least the popularity of it. I don't know if people are still on Tumblr. I don't hear anything about it. But I still feel true to that today. I welcome any feedback, any constructive criticism, any way that I can make the listening experience better. That is in my power to do so. I would like to. Feel free to comment. Again, like, share, subscribe, please. Yeah, yeah. That was my second video that I ever uploaded to YouTube, and sure enough, being that it was my last video that I ever uploaded, that number that was in my head that I was supposed to reach, I'm guessing that it never happened, and so it stayed as is. And luckily, on these two videos I had, didn't garner any dislikes, so that's good. 23 views on this second one, 31 on the one before. So yeah, I don't know how many views came from them expecting me to sing "Started Something New" uh, via High School Musical, but regardless, they came. So shout out to y'all out there, whoever you are that viewed that video. Anybody who liked it or subscribed back then. Um, Much appreciation to you. Uh, so yeah, I appreciate you guys who are here. Thank you for allowing me to play those videos as a quick introductory to me and some of the things that you can expect from this broadcast that is I'll be doing. Again, going to be a lot of love shown to other podcasts, and any ones that I mentioned tonight, I'll put the link in the description so that you can check out what it is that they do, and hopefully they'll be able to benefit you like they have benefited me, and the feeling can be mutual between why it is that I'm sharing those and why it is that you're receiving them. Until next time, peace.